Okay,
just in time. So that's kind of weird because my mom is next door, so I'm not so alone today. But yesterday I figured out something, that when I say stuff to myself, or I am having these conversations on my head, like how can I say, simulations of conversations, right? I don't know if I can see myself, but I can. Alright. So what happens is, for me, there's no difference if I'm having this conversation right now alone, or if there is someone next to me that I'm saying the same stuff to the person, right? So that was my mentality, and kinda still is, because still doesn't have much difference. But what I find out yesterday, while talking to my parents, was that when I talk to them about what I'm thinking, I pass information, right, from my head to them, and they can use that information to help me, right? That's what it means to let other people help you, I think, is by letting them have information of what is going on your head. And what I find out also yesterday, the information was that for years now I have been going through medical examination psychologically, and every time I say the same thing to the doctors, but the doctors doesn't say the same thing that I'm saying to them, to my parents. So the information that my parents were getting from the doctors was different from the information I was giving to the doctors. And in my head, what I was expecting was that the doctors would say the same information. So, if this guy told me this, and he told me that it's okay to tell his parents, I'm gonna tell what he told me to his parents. I thought that was the job that they were doing, being an intermediate in the conversation, like something like that. But actually no, they were giving a different information, and I don't know what the fuck they were, what kind of information they were giving. But yesterday I realized that all this time, all these years, my parents didn't have the right information. That's why I have failing all these years of treatment, because I was not being treated properly. And that can hurt my parents in a way, because they can think that they didn't know, so they were doing the wrong thing because they didn't know. But I try to let clear to them that it's not their fault. They didn't have the information. They did their best without the proper information. They didn't have it's like what I was saying yesterday. If you don't know how to do a thing and you fail, you didn't fail. It's like default. It's by default. If you don't know how to do a thing, you cannot do it. It's by default. To them, I think it's the same thing. They didn't help me properly, but it's not their fault. They didn't fail. They just didn't have the information. So by default, if they don't have enough information to help me, they cannot help me. By default, right? And I also didn't want to blame myself for that, right? So I don't want to put the blame on me for not telling them, because as far as I know, I was telling them. I was trying to tell them, right? Not upfront like I did yesterday, but through the doctors. I thought I was doing that through the doctors. I really thought I was going to a doctor to tell him everything that was on my mind, and he would take that information and pass to my parents. That was what I thought the doctors were doing, but they weren't doing that. So I can't really blame me, because I also didn't have the information. I got the information yesterday by my parents. So at the same time I give them information, they give me I give them new information, they give me new information. And because of this exchange of information that we had yesterday, I think from now on we can try to start a proper treatment and try to find out what I have, because from all these years that I've been doing treatment, I still don't know what I have. I still don't know my diagnosis, and that's the problem, because in my mind what I always said was I want to go to a psychologist to find out what I have, and if the psychologist find out something, he will send me to a psychiatric guy to give me pills to fix me, right? Something like that. So I don't want to just take pills for taking pills for the sake of it, right? I want to take pills to treat what I have. But if I don't know what I have, I cannot treat it. That's what I always said to the doctors. But they didn't pass this information forward to my parents. So as far as my parents thought, things were going well or bad. But if the doctors had told them, he wants to go first into a psychologist and then to a psychiatric, because he doesn't know what he have, and we don't know what he have, and you guys don't know what he have, the problem that he's facing. So yeah. All these years doing treatment, and I still don't know what I have. Is this my parents' fault? No. They thought they were doing the right thing. Is it my fault? No, I thought I was doing the right thing. So on this one, I will blame on the doctors that I passed through, right? Because it was their job to find out what I had, and the only thing I wanted every time I went to the doctor, I said the same thing. I don't know what I have, I know there's something wrong with me, and I want to figure it out what I have, what is my problem, what is making me the way I am, right? And instead, they just kinda ignore me and gave me pills and never told me my diagnosis. So yeah, that's kinda... I'm not even mad anymore. Not mad, not sad. It's just like, I feel like that was a complete waste of time. I feel like right now, if I could go back for the first time I went to the doctor, because my first doctor, she was a psychologist, and she was very good at what she did, and she taught me a lot of things, and I got a lot of help from her. But then the clinic closed, and I had to go to another person, and the other person just gave me pills for no reason, right? But yeah, if I could go back, instead of I could fix this problem. If I could go back, I would say to myself, to my parents, and to the doctor, hey, it's happening. It's not going properly well. There is misinformation here. He wants to tell his parents. I would go back to the doctor and say, hey, he wants to tell his parents something, but the only way he can do that is by telling you guys, so you guys can tell his parents, and you guys are not doing that. So you guys are doing a horrible job, a extremely bad job. You guys have one job: take the information that he's giving you and pass through his parents. That's the only thing. That's your only job, and you are failing at it. So yeah, I think if I had this mentality way back before, I could know what I had back then. Maybe my life would change drastically, but I mean, we can't go back and change stuff, so it's like they say, the past is in the past. So we just look at it and we learn from it and try to not make the same mistakes again. And I think what I learned from that is that if you don't communicate by yourself, you are not gonna give information, and you are not gonna get information, new information. So you are always going blind on stuff. And if you think that, like, by using a third party to pass information seems like a horrible thing to do right now, because I can say from my experience, all those years I was using a doctor as a third party to communicate with people, with my parents, and they did not do that. So yeah, now I feel like all these years were a complete waste of my time. And that's new information for me, in a way. I mean, I think I can feel happy for that. So, at least I can say I didn't fail all these years of treatment. At least that changed. So yeah, I didn't fail all those years of treatment. My doctors were just too bad, right? I didn't got a chance to have my first doctor, she was the best. And then, like, she was top notch. She would have helped me if that thing didn't closed, but it closed. So from there was just downhill. So yeah, I blame them. And now I can feel happy. Hey, I didn't fail all those years. I just didn't have the proper treatment because the doctors were bad. And we learned that. So now, from 11 days from now, yeah, November 11th, I have my first meeting with my new psychologist, and I don't know her. I never did treatment with her, so I will try to be as clear as possible on what I want from her. Like, oh, hey, I think I have a problem. I don't know what my problem is, and I want you to help me find out what is the problem. If she agrees with that, and she seems like she's really interested in helping me find out what is my problem, if I have one, if I have a problem and what it is, I will gladly continue the treatment with her. But, and that's a huge but, if she doesn't care, and if she starts to dig on the past, try to use the same method of the other doctors that I passed through, try to take information from my past experience, like, oh, what your last doctor said, oh, what was your last doctor diagnosis, what was your... If she starts to, like, instead of treating me now, try to go back in the past and treat my past self, I'm just not gonna continue. I'm gonna tell her honestly and kindly that if she keeps doing that, I'm not gonna continue the treatment, because I'm starting to feel like it's gonna be a waste of my time, like it has been before. If she persists, I'm gonna tell her, okay, that's nice, but after this meeting, we are not gonna meet again. I'm not gonna waste my time with you, because I feel like you cannot treat my problem. You cannot figure out what is my problem. You have one job, and you are not doing the job you are supposed to do. So there's no point in me trying to... Like, if you're not gonna help me, there's no point in me trying to get help from you, right? I'm gonna be honest and try to say it as kindly as possible. But I really, really hope that it goes well and she's a nice person. Because, yeah, now that I realize I wasted all this time, so maybe I should not be wasting my time in the future, right? But anyways, that's it.